So today we're going to bring up a member who has done exactly what you are trying to do and what I'm trying to do. So come on up, Jeff.
Jeff.
Thank you.
There you go.
Thank you.
So tell us a little bit about yourself.
Okay, so me and my wife got married in 2016. But in 2006.
Did you have to look at the screen to know that?
You don't remember those numbers?
Yeah.
No. But it helps. While we were dating, we co-founded the Bare Necessities and Spa and Boutique in 2011. And she runs that now. She's fantastic, and we've got 2 locations. And then I needed something to do. I didn't really care much for the job I had, or any job before that, really. So I got into real estate. In 2012, I joined Lifestyles. I bought up to 8 single-family properties, focusing on equity capture, and I would turn them over every year or 2. And then made enough money to get into multifamily.
Was that easy for you? I mean, you're an entrepreneur by heart, I can tell, but to buy the first units, was that?
The first single-family?
Yeah.
The first one was scary.
Okay.
But I had more fear of not doing it. I just knew that it was something that made sense to me, so I had more fear of not doing it. Okay. If that makes sense. So once I did the first one, it was scary, and then you kind of do, I think by the third one, you're like, you can sit on your couch and literally just do it all. I'm sure if you ask anyone in single family now, they'll probably tell you the same thing. It gets pretty simple after the first 2. And then we did a 15-unit multifamily property here in Houston in 2021 we bought it? No, 2020. And then we sold that in 2021. And then we bought the deal we're talking about today. Yeah, in 2022. Sorry, it's been a busy last 3 years. So.
There's been some shit going on.
Oh, yeah, it's a lot of stuff.
Awesome. All right, so why'd you join Lifestyles?
So, I read the Rich Dad Poor Dad book back then, and then just realized, okay, cash flow and all that. It led me to real estate, and then if you're going to do it, get a mentor, figure out the best way to do it. And after doing a lot of research, wanted to, learn the optimal method for investing once we knew that it was the way we needed to go to build passive income. So.
Very good. So what are we talking about tonight here?
So tonight we're talking about the 68-unit complex in Oak Forest, built in 1960. We bought it for $4.9 million in April of last year. Rehab budget $1.2 million. We were out of pocket $2.321 million total, collectively syndicated with 35 other passive investors. And our initial financing.
Hold on. I got to slow you down.
Okay.
Because new people here, 2.3 million, are like, I can't even get involved. And you had 20 plus investors, right?
35.
35. Mm-hmm. What was your lowest investor in the deal?
25,000.
How many people come with 25K? Remember I told you? Now, if you put 25K in the deal, you own all the toilet seats. Does that make sense? You don't own the whole place. But if the whole deal makes an 8% return, it's 8% on your 25K, or this guy on 100K, or this guy on 200K. You follow me? Works the same way. Now, there's one more question, couple more questions I have. Mm-hmm. Are all your investors right here from Houston, or are they from all across America?
All across.
All across America.
Mostly Texas for my deal, but yeah.
Is there any other states you remember off the top of your head?
Maybe Oklahoma.
Okay. Do they have all their teeth?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
My point is this, guys.
Do you know? You don't even know that.
I don't even know.
Yeah, exactly.
My point is this. Live where you want to live, invest where it makes sense. So it doesn't matter if you're in California, it doesn't matter if you're in Canada, it doesn't matter if you're in Hawaii. You can invest in deals across state lines. Now, I have a couple more questions. These are important.
In Hawaii, too, actually.
You have okay, so you have a Hawaiian person.
I think so.
Everybody's got to deal with somebody in Hawaii.
I know. I'm going to be teaching out in Hawaii again in July if you want to come visit me out there. So, next question. Okay, you have these people from all over the place. You have 35 different investors. Mm-hmm. How many of those actual investors came out there and walked that property with you? How many actually visited a property that invested in it of 35?
Maybe 3 or 4.
So 3 or 4. So in other words, the point is, remember I said you can be very hands-off when it comes to multifamily? You put money in the deal and you get a check once a quarter. Hopefully that's how it works. They're totally hands-off. Who likes that idea? And I want you to understand the difference between a passive and a lead. So he's there doing all the work, all the bull crap, all the telephone calls, everything. The passive doesn't do anything. Who likes that idea? They're like Bernie Sanders supporters. They do nothing. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, they don't do anything.
If you're an engineer and raised your hand, you're lying.
30-year amortization at 6.63% interest, which is fixed. And at the time, that was outrageous. It's good now. It's good now. And those all interest only, all 3 years.
And again, David will go over a lot of this weekend. He's talking about interest only, cash out of pocket, initial financing, LTV. All that stuff is covered this weekend. So tune in or back in. All right. So what are you currently doing up there?
So we stabilized about 4 or 5 months ago. From before that, it was a wild ride, and that's typical of value adds, which is what this is. So now we're doing about $75,000 a month in income, with $38,000 expenses and $37,000 a month NOI. So we're cash flowing about $16,000, and we're putting some of that back into the property to help increase income. And you'll go into detail on how to do that this
Okay.
weekend.
For those of you again new, NOI means net operating income. It's basically income minus your operating expenses. You get net operating income. Unlike single family, the way that we value multifamily is when that net operating income goes up, the value of your property goes up. If the NOI goes down, the value of your property goes what? Good. That's a test question for this weekend. All right. Subtract from your NOI your monthly mortgage, interest, things like that. You get your monthly cash flow. That's kind of your cash. That's your. In the single family, that was basically what you were every month you were getting a couple $100. Now we're getting $16,000 a month, right? And that equates to about an 18% cash on cash return.
8%.
I'm sorry, 8%
I wish.
cash on cash. It's going to be 18% here pretty soon.
Yeah.
Okay? So very good. So, and he did explain that this was a value add play. We have things what we call a value play, which is we buy, like those single family homes, we buy them at a discounted price, we do this work, and we get it up to a certain level. That's what a value add play. A yield play in multifamily is we buy it based exactly how this is now, and we basically will get an 8% return. And that's what we're expecting. There's no big capital expenditures, no big value add. It's right out of the box, it's going to make 8%. If he sold it today, right out of the box, it would make 8%. Okay, that's a yield play. All right, so with that said, let's see a couple of the before and after pictures.
So yeah, before had a dark gray exterior and red doors. It's kind of dark from the streets. You couldn't really see it. And the property I just did before that, I painted all white and with black trim. And now I see a lot of properties copying what I did. And I copied the houses, all the upscale houses that were doing it around in the neighborhood. So.
Color schemes go in waves.
But I went with green doors because I wanted to stand out from the street. So I went with green.
Definitely stands out.
Definitely stands out. So as you can see, yeah, we took the kitchens and we did shaker cabinets, vinyl plank flooring, new black appliances if we needed them, or stainless steel, just depends. New paint, brightened it up a lot. New plumbing fixtures, new lighting fixtures. All the stuff we typically do in single family and multifamily to add value, to increase income.
Cool.
Same with the bathrooms. We actually put in low flow toilets to decrease water bills. That was one of the first things we did in every unit. Vinyl plank flooring again, shaker cabinets, quartz countertops with the frame mirrors. Those frame mirrors are like $60. It's nothing. So, and then new plumbing fixtures again.
Very good. So I want to point out on multifamily, what we're first looking at is the exterior. When you drive up, that's your curb appeal. That's what's attracting you to the property. What sells the property are kitchens and baths, right? Does everybody know that? Even when the single family, what sells the property is what the kitchens look like, what the baths look like. It's not your grand entryway. It's not what the bedrooms look like. Kitchens and baths are what sells the property. And that's true in single family and multifamily.
Yep.
All right, very good. So so you're through the first year. We're into the second year. Where are we heading from there?
Yeah, first year, rough, but it was a value play, so that's typical. Year two, now we're doing about 7% cash on cash. Cash flow is we're actually hitting my year 3 and 4 projections from the initial offering. So we've done really well, thanks to my staff and just kicking butt. So from here, we actually have options. We can refi, we might be able to sell, keep it, cash flow it. we're still kind of undecided. So
Very good. So if you look at year one, it says cash flow is what? Or your return is what? 0, right? That's because, again, this was a value play. He knew he had to do a lot of work, and unlike single family, it takes more than a couple weeks to get a contractor out there and do major work. It takes some time. And again, multifamily also, part of the rehab is maybe kicking out all these old tenants that may be not so desirable, and I think we call them something, don't we? In the two
Financially disenfranchised individuals.
There we go. All right. And so it takes some time to get it back up to. That's why that first year, it was planned that he was not going to have any money. He actually has negative capital in there. We actually include that in our capital expenditures, our CapEx budget when we purchased it. You probably thought you were going to lose a little bit more than that in the first year. And you
yeah,
probably had more than
I raised extra capital to.
Yep. And then you got in year 2, you start flowing, and then in 3, it goes. I also want to point out it says mortgage. He has 3 years interest only, meaning it's only interest. That is not any principal in that, right? Now going to year 4, which he's talking about, maybe we sell, maybe we refinance, that's when your mortgage is going to start to kick in, so you're going to be paying interest and principal on that. So those returns might go down a little bit if we're not going to increase income a little bit more, but I think he's being pretty conservative on the income side, so I think he'll be just fine. All right? Very good. So what do we say drives the value in multifamily? NOI. So if the NOI is going from year 1 to year 3, went from 186 to 429, that's pretty good, right? That's what we're trying to do. What does that do to the value? The property value you bought for $4.9 million, okay? Year 1, you could say it went down. I don't think it did because we're in the process of making it better, but technically it went down. Year 2, when things starts happening, we're up to like 6.9, almost 7 million. And in year 3, we're projecting about $7.15 million worth of value, only because the net operating income came through, okay? Now we'll get to how we came up with that value in the 2-day. It's basically NOI divided by a cap rate. He'll go over that this weekend on how you get that, but that's pretty good, dude.
Yeah, thank you.
I mean, that's a 59% return in a matter of a year, 2 years. Who would like to have that, right? That's his equity capture in the multifamily.
And in simple English, for people that might not understand all these numbers up here, if you took $100,000, you put it in this deal, you got your whole $100,000 back. You're made whole. And then on top of that, you get another $59,000 on top of that. Everybody follow me with that? Who'd be okay with that? Not bad, right?
Yep.
And you were totally hands off. Remember that? Okay.
Yep.
Very good. So how did you do that? How did you increase the NOI?
As you said, we kicked out all the economically disenfranchised residents. Yeah, that's not bad.
I do like that one.
I can say worse things. That was the big thing. Was I went in there and scared them out personally. I did the best I could. And then we installed amenities, courtyard, dog park, seating. We put some grills in there, and then painted the exterior was one of the first things besides the toilets. You know, get that going right away. Everything on the exterior you want to do first, because the interiors you're going to do as they turn over. You can't do them all at once. Then we did new signage, and then of course on the interiors, the vinyl plank flooring, brushed nickel plumbing, and electrical fixtures, new appliances if we needed them. We also are a little high tech. We use revenue management software, so we know down to the dollar what rent to charge. That's been really effective for us. So before that, you're kind of guessing, shopping the market, and it's been pretty good. We've got, me and a couple other leads are kind of using that and trying to prove a point and show other leads that how it works. And then utility conservation, the toilets, low flow toilets, they had 5-gallon per flush toilets when we took over in a lot of units. Now we're down to 0.8 gallons per flush toilets.
Big difference.
Your water bill, it makes a big difference.
Yeah, keep in mind, if you have one master meter water bill every month and all these tenants are using the water, that's literally money down the drain.
See, we all become environmentalists.
Yeah. I think
Exactly.
the toilets from like the 80s and 70s still in there. It's wild. LED lighting on everything, smart appliances. We put insulation in the attic. There was 0 when we took over. And we installed a smart water meter, which reduces the airflow, because if you don't know, your water, sometimes your water bill, you're paying for air. Air gets into the water main, and the city charges you for that. So this will keep the air out. So you're only paying for water. And then we started charging for reserved parking, because parking is limited. So we go in there and we right away number the spaces, confuse everybody. They thought they had a reserved space. No, you didn't.
And this is very important. When you come to my summer house weekend, there's 28 different ways we can raise income. That's what he's talking about right now. So in the weekend, I want you to remember this moment of all these things he did to increase the value.
And then pets, another big one. So if you have pets, pay pet fees.
Pet rent.
Pet rent.
Do you know what I love? I love pets. You know why? We can charge more money. You know what I hate? Children.
Did you know people will pay more for their pets than they'll pay
Exactly.
for their children?
Yeah, they will.
They will.
I see it all the time.
One of the things that he mentioned that I want to reiterate, he talked about that he's going over this revenue management system and he's taking that to other leads to talk to them and kind of giving back a little bit. We have what we call lead meetings here once a month here in the Houston office. They have them nationally as well and in other locations, where all the leads will get together and will come together once a month, and we will talk about issues that are going on with us, what's affecting this. And we also talk about new things that people are trying. Have you tried this? Have you tried that? And we kind of bring it together so that the whole organization, kind of everybody can use. It's very great the way it works is that none of us purport to know how to do everything. We go out, we try new stuff, and if it works, we're like, hey, dude, you should try this. I hear this works. And he's like, oh, okay, I'll try it. And then he goes out, and they pass it along, and everybody starts trying it. And we're like, oh my God, we're freaking geniuses. We've learned how to save this much money, right?
That's another technical word.
Yeah.
And we're always talking to each other, a lot of leads.
Yep.
I mean, just every day.
And I want you to think about that. What is your chance of success? If you're a new guy, you just bought a 60 unit, you've never done it before, and you're surrounded by 40 other guys. This guy has 3,000 units, this guy has 2,000 units, and they're willing to open their books and share anything to help you as well. Who agrees that's a great community? That's one of the biggest powers of lifestyles that people never see.
And I think I remember the first deal you did, you brought in a family member as well that kind of came to the place and did the due diligence with us.
My dad.
No, I don't think it was your dad. I think it was a brother-in-law or something like that.
That was my dad.
No, it was not your dad. It was somebody else.
Pretty sure.
I don't want to speak bad about your dad, but I'll do it anyway. No, it was like, but people you bring into the deal that have not gone through the base education that we have a completely different motivation.
Yeah, they don't know.
They don't know.
No.
And they're like, well, have you thought about doing it? You're like, this is terrible.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
Yep.
They
So
mean well.
They do. They mean well.
And then insurance, I got creative, and I'll elaborate on that. You can go into detail in 2 days. There's creative ways to lower your insurance. And then we fought property taxes. We protest every year, no matter what.
Yeah.
And litigate.
You have to. Very good. All right. So how's lifestyle changed your life?
Long quote, like you told me, but it's taught us how to correctly
You're supposed
invest.
to scream it because it's in all caps.
You want me to scream? Correctly invest in real estate. The first two deals I did before lifestyles, barely made any money on, did it completely wrong, got lucky, but my goodness, when you figure out how to do it right, I promise you, it really works. So it's allowed us to rapidly grow our net worth. We started with $10,000 in 2011 with the spa, and then $30,000 in 2012. I'm not going to give you numbers now, but we've really done well with business and real estate, and the real estate has allowed us to take pressure off of the business, so you're not just focused and relying on that every day. So.
Very good. So what's next for you?
So this year, trying to figure out what to do with this property, but I am looking to get bigger. And that is because I want people with more knowledge than me, so I need to hire to fill the voids. There's property managers out there who have 20, 30 years of experience that I can't afford because this property is too small. So I need to find those people, same with maintenance technicians, to fill those voids and help me grow my business. So that's my goal.
So hire people that are smarter than you.
Exactly.
One of the biggest things you learn in business is you fire yourself as quick as you can from every position. Hire other people to do it.
Yep. And then eventually shift more into passive roles. A lot of the leads I know been around since when I joined in 2012. Now they're pretty passive. I know they don't do as much as they had to. So, and then passion businesses. Like I said, we own hospitality. This is my background is restaurants, and eventually I like to do that for fun. I know that sounds crazy to some people.
16 hours a day sounds like fun.
I like working.
Okay.
I hate not being busy.
Nothing wrong with that.
So that's our long-term goal.
Very good. So who's on your team?
Diane O'Brien, who brought us this deal, CBRE, and Benchmark Insurance Group.
Okay, cool.
Very good. All right. So we got time for questions?
Yeah, let's take some questions quick. Anybody have a question? We've got one right there.
Wait for a microphone, please. so
Yep,
the
look,
people
Pat's
online-
running up there.
So, with different organizations and family members trying to make decisions, you've got 35 people. Do they all have to come together on decisions, or is it you as the lead are making decisions for everyone else?
That is a great question.
Yeah, and every deal is a little bit different. Depends on the attorney and the syndication. PPM, I won't bore you with details, but ultimately I can make decisions, but I do want to keep everyone involved.
Okay, so let me simplify that. Here's what it is. There can be only one leader. You can have 30 people telling you what to do. He came a game plan. You get something called PPM and an operating agreement, exactly what he's going to do over the next couple of years. And there might be a say, we're going to do a refi, but I need a vote by 65% of my membership to do it. That's a decision you get. You are counting on him to make you money. He's the lead. Does it make sense? Now, if he's screwing up, you also have the right to vote him out of the deal. They put somebody else in charge or whatever. He doesn't lose his shares.
But
Does that
day
make
to
sense?
day, there's no input.
And I'll explain all that this week and how that works. The point is always be in control of your money.
And we send out monthly reports, financials, everything, details on what's going on. So.
And that's why Dell said earlier when he was a passive, he's got a certain amount that he's willing to invest because if you want control, you own your own stuff or you become the lead.
Yep.
Yeah.
Great.
Yep.
Another question?
No one?
Anything online?
Any online? I don't know who's taking
We
online.
got one more here.
And then I have one final
So
question.
how many units have you turned already?
On this deal,
Yeah.
we have 14 classics left. So what is that? 650,
54?
54?
Wait, because that's 68?
Yeah, turned 54-ish, maybe 55.
So 54
So
you
you
rent.
have had pretty good turnover then to be able to do that, huh?
Oh yeah. I mean, I like I said, I kind of forced.
Keep in mind, some of it was forced turnover, right? You wanted some of it, so.
Remember, you
story.
give a notice of non-renewal. You do not have to renew a lease.
I'm a little bit more hands-on than most. But I was out there yelling at people for littering every day. And one guy got so mad, he said, "Y'all are so mean. I'm leaving." I said, "That's all it takes?"
So my last question for you is, are any of your investors in the room today?
I haven't seen
Is
any.
anybody in any of his deals? Raise your hand.
There you go.
Oh yeah, yeah.
You,
They've
you
been to
have
the property
two people
too.
showed up and cared about you.
And they've been to the property too.
See, they've been to the property. See, they care, the rest don't. They just say, "Where's my check?"
They're all
Right.
online. They're all
Right.
online.
Okay.
Very good.
I'm
David,
just joking. Yes, sir. Oh,
I had another question of how many hours a week do you spend managing the property?
Me, because I don't have anything else going on, I'm there probably 20 hours a week, and that's more than I need to be there.
now, realize you have a part-time manager, part-time maintenance man. I assume
I
at
have
that size.
full-time leasing agent / assistant manager and maintenance technician.
So really, he's micromanaging his people, just so you know. But that's okay. He wants that hands-on experience, so when he goes bigger, he knows everybody's roles. There's nothing wrong with
Got numbers to hit. We're gonna hit them.
it. Yep.
So,
Awesome. All right.
yeah.
Awesome.
All right. Big
Let's
round
give
of
him a hand.
applause.
Thank you.
Awesome.
thank you.